Welcome again to Hallie's Creations as we do the second part of a two-part painting on glass share. Here's the next 6 pieces that we will be doing. 11 and 12. So let's get started. Here we go. This was a cookie jar that I made for a friend / client. She wanted grapes all over it. She loves purple, so that's what we did. So again, even with the ceramic, you want to start by a clean surface, so always use your alcohol. Make sure all your tags are removed from it and that now you're ready to go. So here we're doing more of a freehand style. That way I can show you the different techniques. And I add the leaves first by, I do a half load of the green and then, well actually 3/4 load of the green and then a 1/4 load of the white. That way when I'm dragging it, it's going to automatically give those highlights. So add your leaves first. And another trick too is don't feel like you have to fill up the whole item that you're working on. You can always come back and add more leaves. But see how that white is highlighting because I did it half and, well, 3/4 and a 1/4. Or you can even do half and half depending on what effect you want. But mixing our colors and then tip and then we're dragging it down. Drag and squiggle. And you can learn these techniques on YouTube from different various artists as well. It's there's all kinds of really cool people out there that share how to do these different techniques. Now we're going to paint on the lid, and I'm going to line that lid up to match for it flows with the artwork that's on the actual canister. So when she puts the lid on, it'll all come together. Remember too, when you're baking off the lid, to take that plastic seal off. Put it to the side. You don't want to put that in a hot oven. And this is the same thing as baking on glass. You're going to do 350 for 35 minutes. Put it in a cold oven. Bake it. Let it sit overnight. Take it out of a cool oven, and you're good to go. This will bake it in. On this piece here, I baked it in as well as used the dishwasher Mod Podge because I covered the entire piece with paint. I wanted to just give it that extra seal. So we're going to make some grapes here. We're going to blend our colors. One of the tricks is when you're painting, don't just use one color. You want to have that light to dark and then a little bit of white, and then you're also going to use black to do your shadowing and such. So on the grapes, we're just doing little swirls. We're going to do big swirls, little swirls, and medium swirls, just like a grape, like a cluster of grapes. So we're just going to swirl, swirl, swirl. A small flat tip brush works great for this. Again, if you want to see the different tools that I use, just check out my Amazon products that I have under my painting. I have painting, and I also have palette painting, and I have the glass painting playlist. So this would be, these paint brushes would be on that list, so you can just look and see what I use. Gives you an idea. You don't have to actually buy the ones I use, but it gives you an idea what I use for. You can pick up what you like. You notice there on the top of the table over to the right, different bottles. Those are on my playlist, how to make most of those. So if you are looking at those going, ooh, those are kind of cool, check out my YouTube channel, and it will have the bottle art playlist, and you can learn how to make those. And this is so much fun to give a bottle of wine or champagne to someone that's been blinged out a little bit. And they're just fun to have. They're really pretty on wedding tables, bridal showers, special occasions. So now we're just going to put grapes, 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 lots and lots of grapes. Just a reminder to put different sizes in there. You want to blend it all together like a cluster of grapes. Blend your colors together. Don't paint them on too thick because it'll bubble and burn in the oven. You want to paint them on nice and smooth and even. Now we're just going to take the sponge, we're going to dab the entire ceramic piece just to give it that cloudy lavender effect. And then we're going to use the paint pen, or you can use your brush, and we're just going to add some highlights, some dots, just to bring it all together. And then we're going to bake it. After we bake it, we bring it back to the work table, and we're going to cover it with a dishwasher Mod Podge. You can brush it on, or you can dab it on. Just make sure you have it nice and sealed, and you are going to set that aside and let it dry for 25 days, and it is done. If you end up gifting it to someone, just let them know how long they need to let it set to the side before they wash it. I like to make sure it's cured before it goes out the door. I was pretty happy with the colors. Turned out pretty good, and it was pretty easy peasy to do. Super easy peasy. So now we're going to move on to painting a wine glass, and this is a freehand style paint. Same thing as you do on the other glasses. Always make sure the glass is clean. But I did this particular glass share because I wanted to show you how easy it is to make an elegant wine glass that you can use either every day, or if you want to make a set of glasses for at home, or if you want to do it for a bridal party or your reception, there's just so many different things you can use it for. I've just seen these glasses at the stores and they're so expensive, or on Pinterest and stuff, and it's like, oh, I can do that. That's not that hard. So I wanted to show you how to do it. Always hand wash your glasses. Even if it says you can put them in the dishwasher, don't be lazy. Just take a second and hand wash it and set it to the side and you're good to go. So when you're putting your paint on, don't put it on thick, remember. Nice and thin, and but not too thin either. You don't want to see through it all the way. So we're just going to load this glass up with a whole bunch of leaves. Same technique we did on the canister. So to make it easy peasy for you, I kind of slowed down some spots here and sped it up. But there's the glass when it's finished, so it shows you, how pretty it can look. Remember, like I said too, always use the colors that you like. This is one of my first shares that I've done, so it's recorded a little different than how I do my recording now. So you'll have different angles on it than what I use now. That's just a learning curve. But yeah. Let's get back to painting the glass. I hold the glass by the stem as I'm painting on it if I don't get smudges all over the glass. It's just a little technique, and you get used to it after a while. So we're just going to paint the leaves. I'm going to put my little squiggles on there and outline it, and then I'm going to let it dry, come back, and put my flowers on. If you're really good and you're used to painting and you got this, then just go for it. But if you're learning, let the leaves dry and then come back. And here's a little thing I wanted to show you. If you don't like the way it looks, take a little Q-tip, get it wet with alcohol, and just rub it off. You haven't baked it in yet, so you're not committed. So if something's not, doing it for you, just take it off. And then make sure you got it rubbed off really good, though, because you don't want that smudge to bake into your glass when you do go to bake it. And it was that easy. Absolutely love this peach color with the white, so I decided I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of petals on here. And yes, you paint right over your leaves. That's why I said let the leaves dry, because you're giving it that layer effect. And just go in and don't try to paint an actual flower, just put petals on it. Just go through and put your petals on, and you're going to layer your petals. And you can set this aside and come back to it. Put a layer of petals on it, walk away, let it dry, come back, put another layer on, or if you want to put layer over layer, you can do that as well. What I did on my paintbrush is I loaded it half white, half with the peach, and it just comes out really pretty when you squiggle them on. So just build your flower petals out and have fun with it. Again, as I share, use the colors that you enjoy, that spark joy for you, that make you happy. Don't try to do, well, it's supposed to be a purple flower, so I'm going to make it purple. Nah, do your thing. Have fun with it. You're the artist, you're the creator, you're making it. Do your thing. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. Anybody from the 70s know where that came from, a little slime family stone. Anyway, there you go. Little petals, little squiggles. Have fun with it. This particular piece, I decided to load this glass up with petals. I just wanted to go nuts and crazy. So I squiggled them around. I kind of wrapped the stem, and just went for it. This particular piece actually is my daughter slash niece. We raised her for quite some time. She's my niece, but she's like my daughter. And I made this for my Wendy. So you can do this. Yes, you can. It's not that hard. I'm going to show you how. It's so easy peasy. So just build your layers. You're going to do your accents and just go for it. Just make them fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. It's so fluffy. Make them fluffy. Don't forget to do your base and do your stem. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the centers of the flowers just to give it that pop. We're going to also do the little dots on it and fill the little seeds into the center of the flowers, and then you're pretty much done. There's that stylus I was using before. I absolutely love this stylus. Again, you can pick this up at the Dollar Tree for $1.25 now. But this works great for putting your little dots on. If you're picking one up, pick a couple up. You'll thank me later for it. Don't just grab one. Pick a couple up. See how those little baby breath effects and little dots just add dimension and character to the piece? That's, for me, the finishing touch. That's real key. Real key. Keep your stylus tip clean as you're working on it. Dab it off, clean it, and come back to it. Remember to let it sit for a good 24 hours before you bake it. Then you're going to bake it. Baking directions are down in the descriptions, as well as on my Facebook, Hallie's Creations page under the albums of directions, as well as on my YouTube share. I put the directions in with each share, and this is on my playlist as well, so you can see this individually and see how I'm talking. You can actually watch this actual video where I'm talking you through it. As a collective share, I did the voice overlay because it was just easier to do it that way. So I really hope you enjoyed that share. And now we're jumping on to blue glass. I love painting on blue glass. This is a picture I found at a yard sale, and I thought that would be really cute to paint on. So I cleaned it all up. It looked so sad when I found it. I think I picked this up for $1. Brought it home, cleaned it all up. I used a little vinegar on it and got it clean, and then now I'm painting on it. So this is just showing you the tip and drag and the white little daisies. And most of the things that I'm sharing on this share, and most of my shares, are easy peasy, because I want you to know that you can so do this. This is so easy. So you're just going to load your brush up half and half with your green and your white, and you're going to tip and drag. This little brush here is one of the little slanted brushes. And again, like I said, you can check out my playlist on my YouTube, not my YouTube, my Amazon, and it shows you this particular set. You don't have to get this set, but just something like it. I like this brush. It just works quite well. And it has a little gripper on it too, so when you're doing fine work, it's like using one of those pins that have the grips on it. So it's just real easy to work with. So you're just going to load it up with your leaves, let your leaves dry, then come back and work on your petals. Add your baby's breath and your highlights like we did on the cup we just did, and bam, you're done. And you have a really pretty picture that you can use if you bake it off. You can actually use this. For me, I'm using this particular piece as a floral arrangement vase because it did have a little crack in it. But if it's the integrity is there and it's going to hold water, then you can absolutely use this as a water pitcher or lemonade or whatever. Just bake it off first and treat it just like you do the glass, and you're good to go. Hand wash it. Always hand wash your hand painted. If you hand painted it, then you hand wash it. That's my rule. So you're just going to load it up with a whole bunch of pretty white petals or whatever color you want. I like the white on the blue. It just makes it pop, and then I use a little bit of blue highlight into the flowers as well, just to blend it all together. And you're just going to load it up with your flowers, your baby's breath, and you're going to do your dot dot dots all over it. And like I shared earlier, you're going to paint it up, and you're going to bake it off. You're going to let it sit for a couple of days after you bake it, and then you're good to go. Too, that not all the flowers are full flowers, some are half flowers. I just wanted to give it some character and some depth, putting the little yellow centers in there just to make it pop. And yeah, using the acrylic paint. If some of you just jumped to this one, then this is acrylic paint. Baking directions are in the descriptions. And yes, you can bake this off too. Just remember, when you're baking off white flours, you want to go 325. You don't want to go 335. That little extra heat will burn your flours. So I learned that the hard way when I'm using white. I use a lot of white. So I bake at 325 for 25. I let it sit overnight and cool off. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll bake it twice, just to make sure it's really baked in there if I'm not feeling that it got baked in well. And let it cool down for a good 24 hours and you're good to go. And always hand wash your hand painted items. It says dishwasher safe, but no. I treat it with love. So I'm just going to fill it in with a few more little flowers, make the petals a little bit more fluffier. Remember, don't go too heavy because you don't want it to bubble and pop while you're baking it. Now, if you get and you're going to dishwasher Mod Podge and seal it, or if you're just going to let it sit like that and not seal it, then you can go heavy on the paint. But if you're going to bake it, you don't want to go too heavy. I call this the forgotten vase. We gave it new life. It was so funny when I got it home and I got it all cleaned up and I saw the little crack in the handle. I mean, you can hardly even see it, but it's like, nah, we're just going to use that as a pretty little vase. I love colored glass, blue glass and the red glass, because you can just put colors on there and they just pop. Hope you enjoyed this little share. We're going to jump on to the next one here in a minute. Here's another color glass share. This is champagne glasses. So this is black champagne, simple black champagne glasses. Again, I picked this up yard selling. Yard selling is hit and miss, but it's just a fun adventure to get out of the house and just kind of look around and meet your neighbors too. So that's the come I love to go out and do the yard selling. It's not that I'm looking for killer deals, but I get to meet people in the community. We get to talk. I find some really cool forgotten items that people they're just tossing out that I can repurpose and give new life to. So get all your smudges off. Of course, we talked about this, but really on this black glass, get all the smudges off, because if you don't, it's going to show. Clean it up really nice, and we're going to load this up again with the same technique, same that we've just been doing. The white little daisy petal flowers, same, everything's the same. Again, you're going to bake it at the 325 for 25. You may want to do a double bake on this if you're not feeling it, and remember not to go too heavy on your petals. And you're going to tip and drag and tip and drag. So because we've already talked about all these other glasses, and this is pretty similar to what we've just done on the vase, I am going to let you enjoy this share, throw a little music on in the background if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching it on Facebook, I apologize. Facebook doesn't make it real user-friendly to put music on without copyright claims, so there's no music on the Facebook one, but there is on my YouTube channel. So if you want a little music while you're watching it, jump over to my YouTube channel and watch it on my YouTube. And we're just going to do that. And this is my reminder too, get yourself a nice brush set. And again, you can see what I'm using on my Amazon, Hallie's Creations. It's my Amazon profile page where I have all my different supplies that I use for my different shares. And as I grow my channel, I've been doing this only for a couple of years. I recently retired and had to find something to do with my life. And I found this through COVID, because I was sharing with friends and family and it just took off. So I just kind of let it grow organically. So as I grow and learn new things, I will be posting those on my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook, and the supplies will be posted on my Amazon supply. So it's real easy to find what I'm using. So just keep it simple, have fun with it. They don't have to match up. You can do one or you can do a set. These are so much fun for bridal parties and stuff. So anyway, while we're doing this, I will be back. So you'll see how I was talking on the black glass, how pretty this looks on the glass and how it pops. You're doing the same technique that you've done on the other glasses. You're doing layer by layer. You're letting it dry as you do it. You're not going too heavy for when you bake it. You're going to do your accents. And then you're using your stylus to do your dot, dot, dot to give you that seed effect as well as the baby breath effect. And outline it a little bit. And if you're doing this for like a bridal party or for a wedding or whatever, you can even write the individuals' names on the glass, on the base there, and it just looks really cool. So if you had a pretty bottle of champagne that you've decorated and then you put this out with these glasses out with it, it just is so elegant and personalized and just that extra love touch. And this is something that you could do even at a bridal shower where everybody can get together and you can do like a little paint night and have a glass of wine or champagne, and you can make your own little glasses for your wedding party. And if you want to take it to the next level and do it for your parents and for those special guests too, depending on what you want to do. But this could be a fun little project to do at as the girls get together, get to know each other before the wedding. You can also do it as a paint night and have something that you can use afterwards too. So just remember when you're doing these that you are going to let the paint set for a couple of days before you bake it. You're going to bake it off. You don't want to bake it too hot with the white petals. Sometimes you can double bake it just to make sure that it's the way you want it. It's really set in. Don't run it through the dishwasher, even though it is dishwasher safe. But hand wash it and treat it with love and kindness, and it will last you forever, or until you drop and break it. Sorry, it happens. But these are fun, and they're super easy to do. Acrylic paint, super, super easy to do. You can get more complicated if you are into doing the artsy stuff, and you can actually paint pictures and all kinds of fun stuff on here. And earlier on you saw where we did the flat back embellishment. So if you wanted to put some flat back pearls into those or whatever, it would just be so pretty. I just try to keep these shares easy for you. For you can grow from, this is your jumping off, this is your springboard point, and you can grow from that. So jumping on to the next share is going to be a really pretty, another champagne glass, but it's more of a fluted. This is a flute champagne glass, and this is more of an open champagne glass. So we're going to jump over to that. So here, like I've shared earlier, all these are on my playlist on my Amazon, on my YouTube channel, where you can see where I'm talking to you here. You can actually see what I'm saying on that YouTube channel. So this is all different kind of acrylic paints that I'm showing you that you can use on this glass. This is my Mel's glass. I painted it for her. I gave it to her for Christmas one year. And I just absolutely love the yellows and the whites on this. And it's just so soft and elegant. So these are the different brushes that I'm using, the 0, 2, and 4. And you don't have to necessarily buy these brushes, but just showing you the different ones that I have here. This is one of my earlier shares, so it's a little bit rough compared to what I do now. So just bear with me on that. But the technique is here, and that's what I wanted to show you. So again, we always clean the glass. We start off clean, and now we're just going to freehand paint these on. Same technique we've used on the other glasses. We're going to do the petals with the little highlights, accentuations, so on and so forth. So enjoy this share, and I will be back. Just squiggle, 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 and have fun with it. I'm showing you here on this glass how I've added the leaves first, and then I add the petals on top of that. So again, like I showed in the other one, I like to do the darker colors, the leaves and stuff, let it dry, and then come back and do the lighter colors over it. It gives it that depth and that dimension. And then the colors don't bleed when you're painting on top of each other. They don't bleed into each other. It pays to be a little patient. And the blending of the yellow and the white, and I absolutely love this bright sunny yellow, blending it with the white. I went a little heavy on here. Don't do that. That was a learning curve. Like I shared earlier, this is one of my earlier pieces. I've learned to go a little bit lighter with the paint before it doesn't bubble and crack when you bake it. You've let it dry, go through and put your little accents in there. Use your stylus to do that. And let it dry for 24 hours. Bake it off, let it dry again for 24 hours to sit and cure, and you're good to go. Remember always, hand wash your glass. Don't soak it in the sink. If you do, you're going to ruin it. I always like to put a little accents in there, drawing lines between the leaves just to make it pop and come together a little bit more. So I'm taking my brush that I have a love-hate relationship with and I'm drawing some squiggles and I'm highlighting some of the leaves and just bringing it all together. Some stems in there. My favorite pieces, that's why my Mel got it, because I love my niece's two pieces, and I thought she would enjoy it. But yeah, it's pretty easy to do, and just remember, use the colors that you like and have fun with it. But there you go. Bam! You could do sunflowers, any type of flower, any type of design you wanted to on here. Like I shared earlier, how I showed you how to do the flat back pearls. If you wanted to add some flat backs to that, you so could with your Mod Podge. Jumping on to, I think this is number 12. I think we've got through the whole video share. Just remember when you're baking and working with glass, please be careful. But this glass here was one of my very, very first ones. Using the paint pens. These are the acrylic paint pens. They are the bomb. And this one's super easy to do. So we're going to just paint grapes on it with the paint pens, put your little squiggles in there, and you've already been told how to bake off your glass and everything. So at this point, I'm just going to let you watch me do this. Watch me now. And we'll jump over and pretty much be done with it. So this is just showing you the super easy peasy way and the different pens you can use. And again, if you wanted to see this individually, just go on to my YouTube channel, look up this particular share, and you'll hear me talking you through it as we make and create. So see, that was pretty easy to do. You just do your little dot, 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 squiggles, squiggles, add your highlights, and you're done. Here I'm showing you the different pieces that are done. That's DJ for my Danny, and then my other little glass has JJ for my JD. These are glasses I made for my granddaughters, and then I actually turned them into little candles and meld it to them. All the pieces made it except for one. So I was pretty pleased with that. That was a testing thing too, to see how things ship. You'll also see in the background on the different shares, different things in the background. I do paint palette knife painting, as well as I make jewelry. I do floral art designs, and as my channel grows, there'll be new things on there. And I try to stay with the seasons of what's going on. So here I'm reminding you to use the Mod Podge dishwasher safe. That particular glass you can actually just bake. Those ones I use the Mod Podge to do the beading and the embellishments. But yeah, so check out my YouTube channel, all the different playlists I've created for you and you and you. And just have fun, happy creating, whether you want to get into painting on glass, if you want to make some jewelry, you want to do some floral designs, you want to do some DIYs. Check out all the different playlists I have. I have, at this point, I believe over 400 videos, if you can believe that, between my shorts and the actual video shares that I have. Remember to like and follow if you're on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and set your notify. That helps me build my channel. At this point, I'm not monetized on YouTube. I am on Facebook, but I'm not on YouTube. And I'm working towards that. So by subscribing and I'm setting you notify, that helps me to get monetized. So at this point, I just do this for the love of doing it and to share. If you want to check out my biblical perspective and just, comments and thoughts about life, you're welcome to do that on my Instagram page. I keep that totally separate, and that's I Got Joy, Joy, Joy. But if you go into Hallie's Creations with 2 S's, you'll see that link up to where you can go. Or if you just do Hallie Osborne Jolitz, you'll find me. Have a good day and a better tomorrow. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and peace out. Bye.